Okay, hello and welcome. Today I'm talking about Moon Knight, episode 3. But before I get into that, I want to make some statements about the previous episodes that I kind of missed in my watch throughs of them, and things I'm like more privy to now as I've jumped into episode 3. Let's just do that first. I have more criticisms about the episodes that I didn't like. I forgot about, or I just didn't talk about in the other reviews. So here they are. So the Mr. Knight character is something I was not aware of because I don't read the comics. So apparently Steven, the reason why Steven, when he uses Khonshu's power to transform, is he's like a different outfit is because of his specific personality somehow just like doesn't conjure the same suit, and that character is called Mr. Knight, but in the comics it's a completely different personality apparently. Steven is not the same person who actually conjures the Mr. Knight suit. um I still haven't read the comics, so I'm not privy to like what that personality is. I think we get glimpses of that in this episode. We get like hints about another personality inside of like Mark and Steven and like what's it doing, but they're not aware of it. We'll get more into it. Anyway, that is the Mr. Knight character. So apparently a lot of like comic readers were upset about that. Apparently Mr. Knight's supposed to be very suave, while Steven's like this fucking loser, and he's very jittery. And so I can that's understandable. I get why people can be upset at that. Another thing I didn't really talk about. All right, the CGI in this show. I kind of glossed over it, I think, in my other reviews. This CGI is not good. It's not Black Panther levels of bad, but it's still not good. Um, Tons of scenes where very mysterious, where like Kanju comes into play, and he'll just like Steven will just like see him, but it's in like broad daylight, and it's almost like he Conjure's like superimposed into the world, so it just looks fucking weird, like into the background of like a shot. And yeah, I don't like that. Also, the action in episode 2 with the CGI was fucking like stupid bad. Like, Mark as Moon Knight with like in that last final scene, he got like pushed around by the jackal and then just like disappeared and then like re-topped on like and is now climbing a building. Like, what the fuck happened? How did that happen? I don't know. It's just the CGI isn't very good. CGI on the jackals isn't very good. They do a good job on like the suit itself and like the CGI, but I would have like just liked them to have like an actual suit. Not CGI'd, and then maybe that could be better. Just like the Mister Knight suit isn't CGI'd. It looks like, well, as far as I can tell, it's not. It looks like an actual suit. I'm thinking it is an actual suit. Um, and I like that. I would have liked to see a more realistic version of the Moon Knight suit if they had it. Yeah. Also the fight scenes. Yeah, the fight scenes aren't good. Um, it's not even like the show has a lot of fight scenes in the first place, but the ones we do see, they're not they're not choreographed well. Moon Knight himself, when he fights, he does like the boomerang things with his chest, whatever they're fucking called. I don't know. They're his chest knives. I whatever they are. I don't know. It's not choreographed well. And we see more of that in episode 3. Honestly, this episode is like the most fighting choreographed stuff, and it's not good at all. We'll talk about that. I think that's it so far for my complaints about the previous 2 episodes. Uh, oh, also a complaint. I was totally right about, I think, this show not like going into a deeper semblance of thought. What if that makes sense? Probably not. The correlation between Mark and Steven as people, and how Steven was doing weird shit in the previous 2 episodes, for the simple fact that like Mark and Kanji will not explain to him the situation that's happening because it's like super new to Steven. He's just being thrust into these this new situation where there's blood on him and he has to fight people and kill people, but he's not actually doing it himself. He's just being thrust in that situation with like the lapse in memory, the lapse in the time lag between Mark and Steven switching bodies in their minds, whatever, and the personalities, and it's not good. Like there's clearly a problem there too, and this happens in this episode as well. Steven would like be on the team of like Mark and Kanju if they just explained to him like what the fuck is happening, because this is all new. Steven was not when this happened. Steven was not aware of Mark or Kanju, but like we don't know how long Kanju was. I'm sorry, how long Mark was being like the avatar of Kanju. We don't know how long. We can assume for a bit of time, maybe a year or two, but then something happened, I guess. Now, like, Steven's, like, becoming more self aware. It's just strange. It's not being explained. And I don't like it. Not, it doesn't even necessarily have to be explained. I just need, like, Mark to, like, be a smart person and tell Steve what's happening. Because our characters in this show aren't very smart. It's, like, the same problem in the other Marvel shows. Like, Falcon and Winter Soldier and Loki as well. Fuck. And it's tiring to like keep watching that. It's all very surface level, and I'm not a big fan. I would like it to be. I would like my characters to be like smart again and like actual actors in the world. But um, whatever. Let's just get into the episode. We start out with Mark's wife. I'm not a fan of her. She basically forges her documents or whatever to go to Egypt. She forges a passport with a friend, whatever, it doesn't matter. Her mission is just to like help Mark basically, which is nice. She wants to help Mark. How useful is she actually though? Uh, that's up in the air for me. Useful in the fact that the show creates a situation where she is needed, quote unquote, but if it's not really needed because Mark, we'll get into it. Mark could like do these things by himself and like it would cause more destruction, but he could still do them by himself without that, her help. And I think that's like pretty telling. Like she didn't actually need to be here. She's not even really creating like good character development between them. Herself, I can't even remember her name. Just Mark's wife. Mark's wife and Mark. They're not even like I don't see the chemistry, but which is weird. Which is very weird. Because it seems like she actually likes Steven more than Mark, and okay, that's great. All right, just cause more problems without explaining things. Anyway, she goes to Egypt. Whatever. We cut back to Mark, and he's in Egypt now. He's doing things or stuff. We're not really sure, and he just like. This is where we get a hint of another vestige of a personality within Mark and Steven. Because Mark, like, blacks out fighting people, and then him and Steven wake up, and there's the only way they can talk is, like, between mirrors. But they both talk, and then just, like, people are dead, and both of them have no idea why. It seems like they've both been, like, passed out while another personality is taken over. Because they don't remember what happened, neither of them. So there must be another personality. Um, and yeah, that happens. Basically, they're just like fighting these random people. He's trying to well, it's mostly because um Mark's trying to figure out where the Ethan Hawke went. And Ethan Hawke is also in Egypt. Everyone's just in Egypt now. Ethan Hawke, with the Scarab from last episode, which is like the MacGuffin, he's now gonna find Amet's tomb, which he is. They're doing that. Okay, that's all right. Kanju now like is afraid of like we don't know why Amet is such like a bad god or whatever. I guess we'll find out later. We don't know why Kanju apparently has been banished from I don't know, I'm not even sure what to call it. Like this like meeting of the gods. He did some bad things I guess too, but he not enough to get like him imprisoned like Amet was. Um Anyway, this I don't like. So we get introduced to like Kanji was like, all right, we gotta like create this situation where we talk to the gods so we can like tell them the higher gods like Horus and what's that other god? Not Anubis. Fuck. Like the three cardinal gods that like Horus would hang out with. I don't remember their names. I'm not an Egyptian expert. Um, they would do that. So Kanju creates this situation where he fucks with the actual world. Like he like it turns he like creates like some sort of fucking eclipse to get the gods' attention. It's like, whoa, all right. So the gods are in play in this world and they can do things and they can affect it in ways that can like be detrimental to the world, and the world knows about it, but they don't know it's the gods. They just see shit happening, and I guess it's crazy. The gods don't like that, and this is very stupid. All right, cause so they all go to this meeting place, like a portal. They can just create portals that go. They just go into the inside the Temple of Giza, I think. And Steven actually says that, even though how would he know what the inside of Giza looks like? I don't know. Is Giza like a tourist attraction? I'm not sure. If it is, why would they go there, right? And apparently all the gods have their own avatars. This is crazy. And specifically they get mad at Kanju because he's like meddling within the affairs of humans and mortals. Even though like apparently taking over a person and becoming having them be your avatar isn't meddling with mortals. Even and these gods have like plans of their own with these avatars, but they're not gonna mess with the wider range of all mortals. No, just these very specific ones that we have plans for, that we're gonna do things with, but we're not gonna tell you what those plans are. Okay, stupid. Why? Basically, Conjo goes there to like state his case that Amet and his avatar Ethan Hawke are not good. They're trying to resurrect Amet and like do terrible things to the world. He fails at convincing the gods. They tell him, "All right, don't fuck with the world anymore. You're still banished. Whatever. We're not gonna fuck with Ethan Hawke yet." Ugh. And I just don't like that. I'm sick of these. I really want to know. Loki like fucked up the MCU for me. It really did. All right. If you haven't seen Loki, good. Don't. I'm gonna spoil it for you though. there's this omni. There's this omniscient fucking like character, omnidimensional character called Kang. Right. He has the ability to like and through time, if you make a decision, and if it's not the decision that he's made from his path, he has the ability to just like wipe you that existence out, wipe you out from existence and melt you, and then you'll end up creating another personality or a person. It's so stupid that like does the correct path that he deems worthy, and I fucking hate it. It really if you don't understand what like the meaning of free will is, all right, that's it right there. He just the MCU just destroyed whatever semblance of free will any character had. Any character action or decision anyone's made is now tethered to the laws of Kang. And now, free will doesn't exist. So I'm confused about like, are the gods bound by Kang's rules? In the like the multiverse or in reality, are they? It's not explained, and why would it be explained? They don't. The writers don't want to deal with that like bullshit, right? How could they possibly? How could they possibly make that like look good in the wider scheme of the MCU? There's no way. There's no possible way. So for me watching it, it's the only thing I can fucking like think about because it's obviously retarded and it creates like huge problems within like the plot of this story and every story going forward. Anyway, um, that's basically. Oh no, no, I forgot. At the end, at the end of the episode, after the gods tell Kanju not to, meddle with the world. Kanju's all right. We need to meddle with the world because we're running out of time. This is when they go find this map to find out where Amet's tomb is. It's like the friend of the wife, a friend of Mark's wife, and he just happens to have this tomb. Apparently, he's super rich. Whatever. It's very convenient. This is where stupid shit happens. Ethan Hawke comes there. He fucking blows up the map. Doesn't really matter. Mark basically ends up fighting everyone anyway to get the map in the first place. Um, really stupid. The woman didn't have to be there. Mark could have went in there alone with the Moon Knight suit and just like fucked up everyone, got the map, had Steven read it, and then have Kanju like change time to see where the stars were in the sky to figure out where the tomb was. This is where bad choreography and bad fight scenes happen too. Like Mark is like getting stabbed repeatedly by these like peon, like not even soldiers, just bodyguards, and he's like not beating the fuck out of them because he has the ability to like climb walls and shit and run fast. And why isn't he just beating the shit out of these people? They don't have suits. They're not wearing body armor. They don't even have guns. And Mark just like very slowly beats the shit out of them and takes tons of damage doing it. Oh, it's so dumb. Also, there's a really stupid fucking fight scene with Mark's wife and a really big black guy where she beats the shit out of him. Stop it. These people, they don't like realistically. Listen, if you want to have a superhero, we haven't like Black Widow, right? She can like fight the guys, even though realistically she still shouldn't be able to. She needs like massive amounts of weapons to like be able to like hurt people. This like little woman is fighting this big black guy, and like beats the shit out of him, like barely taking any damage. And I'm just like, fucking why? The writers, they don't understand that like even like an average person who doesn't know how to fight shouldn't be able to beat this like bodyguard, right? This average woman who doesn't know how to fight uh is definitely can't beat this bodyguard. The writers don't understand that like the difference between the strengths of men and women in combat. Okay? I understand. I fought girls. Not like me. I've in competition. I've had to fight girls and spar with them because I did martial arts back in the heyday. And I'm gonna tell you straight up, they're not good at fighting. Like I'm new to fighting back then, and I'm fighting girls, and they can't do anything to me. You can as a guy, and not like the strongest guy. I can like stop them with one hand, and it's the easiest thing. It's easy. It's easy. So I don't know. There's a real big disconnect when I see like little girls fighting big dudes. Like if they hit you once, you're out. I'm sorry. If they hit an average guy, I might be like sort of scrawny, not very tall, maybe like 5'9", maybe a little bit shorter, and you get hit by a big fucking meaty hand, guess what's happening to you? Your mouth is getting fucking shredded. Your organs are getting crushed. Your intestines are getting fucking battered. You're not making it out of there. This fucking woman somehow beats him. All right, I'll stop complaining about it. Whatever. After that episode, they beat the bad guys. They get the map. Basically, Kanju fucking rewinds time in order to find out where this tomb was, because they had to rewind time because the stars in the sky 2,000 years ago were not where they weren't aligned in the same place they are now in the present, which is very true and accurate. I like that the show recognized that. And this whole stupid way that Kanju could just rewind time, and it's literally affecting the whole world, and that he's using like this power, and the gods aren't okay with that, so they seal him in stone, and that's the episode. And I think Mark and Steven, they lose their power now. They're no longer technically the avatar of Kanju because he's sealed in stone. So how can they use the suit now? They felt weak, and they can feel Kanju leaving their body. I guess that next episode they're gonna go find the tomb maybe where Amet is, and or not Amet. I'm sorry. They're gonna find the tomb of I can't remember. Yeah, Amet. Yes, yes, I believe so. I guess, and then maybe next episode after that, they'll like, or in the same episode, they'll try and free Conjure at the same time because they need him. How are they supposed to fight Ethan Hawke and his guys without the Moon Knight powers? They literally can't. Mark is like a fighter, but he still needs like superhero abilities to take on like fucking Ethan Hawke's Colt. It's otherwise it'd be impossible to win. All right, I think that's it. I've complained a lot about this episode. I didn't like this episode. No, it was not good. Like really bad fight scenes. Really stupid dialogue too. Just really bad character development between Mark and his wife, and a lot of other stupid shit. I want more like introspective, comprehensive, looking into like what it means to be have a DID, and like there should be a better back and forth between Mark and Steven, not just them like trying to vie for like control of the main body that they occupy. Like they should be like really talking to each other and explaining stuff, and like Mark should be just like really telling his entire life to Steven, because maybe what Steven knows about his life is all lies, because we have no idea when he was created. And this could have been that could have been way cooler, could have been way nicer. Anyway, you guys have a good day. See ya.